Welcome to the channel. This is Go Gretty, and welcome to the 2023 Gran Turismo World Series official Nations Cup. It is round number 6 at Dragon Trail Seaside, and we are in the front-wheel drive Volkswagen Scirocco, and I just decided out of the blue I just had to send it in this Nations race. And boy, we had to play a little bit of chicken along the way, so stick around, check it out. All right, lobby opens up. Good, solid second split lobby. A lot of familiar names, a lot of familiar drivers in the lobby, so super excited. Can't wait to do this race. But, of course, got to get that good qualifier. Since it's a second split, we do have a chance to possibly start somewhere near the front for a change, so that's always welcome. As we cross the line at the end of our first hot lap, we have a 1:44.751, but I know I can improve on that because I made quite a few mistakes on the prior lap. So as we come down out of the first chicane here at Dragon Trail Seaside, we're going to head through the next set of Lesmos, and right here I dropped it down into second. Should have kept third right there, carried just a little more speed out of the corner. Didn't need to go wide right there. It was pretty easy to make that corner. I'm thinking, I might have lost a tenth there. Might have left a tenth on the table. Now getting down into fourth here, I hang it too slow, didn't get back on the gas early enough, dropped too many miles per hour in that first part of the uphill S's. Now that was a costly error. That you're probably looking at 2, 3, even 4 tenths right there. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty solid lap here at Dragon Trail Seaside. Now heading towards the infamous Death Chicane. Well, if you are brave, you will keep it floored all the way through. Gretty is not that brave, so I will give it a safety lift here going in. Little lift there, coming out the other side, another little lift to make sure I don't hit the wall on the exit. Was carrying good enough speed. Unfortunately, no slipstream in qualifying, because I would love to take this Spartan driver's slip right here and add a couple tenths onto my time, because I did make some mistakes on the lap. In the final corner, I tuck it in nicely there on the back side of the corner, get back on the throttle. Could have been on the throttle a little bit earlier. So even in this lap, even though it was a good solid 1:44.6, still left some time on the table, but sat at P2 for quite a while, or Q2 for quite a while, and then right in the final few seconds got jumped by a couple drivers there. So good job by them to, suck it up in the last hot lap and put in that good time. It's a 302-point lobby. Pretty solid lobby here, so I got a chance to get somewhere between 260 and 300 if I can just maintain my position and or move up a spot or two. So let's get on to the race. Move the brake bias, not the traction control, to 5 towards the rear, because this is a 3X tire race. It's a front wheel drive car, so we're going to chew up the front tires. So I want to use the back brakes, the back tires, chew up some of that rubber when we're slowing down, a little less of that front rubber. So on the countdown, here we go. No worries about fuel. Not going to need to stop for fuel, but we will need to stop for tires somewhere near the middle of the race. 12, 13, or 14 is probably about when you want to stop. Heading down towards corner number 1. I'm right here behind P3. I've got Lisa Salters behind me. Never had much trouble racing with Lisa Salters. Very clean driver. So I expect that to be the same this race. So it's nice to be able to kind of relax in corner 1, not have to worry about some clown running you off the track to start the race. Very, very nice change from the last race I was in. So goal here, all I want to do, stick with this lead group, top 3 drivers as long as I can. The Death Chicane forces lots of errors during this race, not to mention these S's right here in the front wheel drive car causes a lot of people problems throughout the race. In the practice races that I was in, a lot of people are losing it right through here, and in the corner that was leading up to these S's. The curbing on the left had a tendency to really toss your car sideways into the wall if you entered that incorrectly. This corner didn't ever really seem to cause anyone any troubles, but we all know about where we're heading right now as we come through that corner and we head towards, as aforementioned, the Death Chicane, where race car drivers' dreams go to die or glory is bestowed upon them. And someone is taken out by the Death Chicane and in turn takes out Gretty with them. Unfortunate here right at the beginning of the race, and I've got front end damage. I am going to lose 3 positions, drop from P4 all the way back to P7 and then back up to P6 as I passed the driver that lost it there in the death chicane. Now, I'm assuming they have more damage than I do because their car really seems to be struggling here on the straight. So Jay Marazzo with the mistake here in the beginning of the race. Lap 1, costing old Gretty quite a few spots there. Quite unfortunate for me, was not happy. I may have said a few colorful words when that occurred. I might have been using a little foul language there. Not because I was mad at the guy for making a mistake, just kind of cursing my poor luck getting hit right there. Now, as you see that, hitting that curb there caused the driver in front of me, Lazy, I don't have any idea, Piwo? Lazy Piwo? Causing Lazy Piwo to have a little bit of a struggle going through that right-hander. Dangerous part of the track right there. I remember I lost it there in a P3 spot in a second split lobby early on in GT7. That curb took me out in that fast right-hander. So I'm well aware of the dangers of Dragon Trail Seaside and how all the various curbs and death chicane can end your day and make the rest of your day woeful and miserable. Getting the back of Lazy Piwo there on the right-hander here on lap number 2. Even though I had that mishap, I'm still only 4.8 seconds from the leader. Still only 0.2 here out of P5, so I'm not feeling too terrible about it. A few people get into the wall there. Looks like that was Lisa Salters. Gets in the wall coming out of the death chicane, so I pick up a position right there on lap number 2, back into P5. So putting the head down, I see a rocket coming through and get hit from the side, get pushed wide there, but so does Lazy Piwo to the right of me. So I'm able to pick up a position into P4. What happened there? Well, Mullet misses his braking mark, tries to avoid it, stands on the brakes, not on purpose clearly, but almost took out Lisa Salters in the process there. So Mullet with the mistake, with the 2-second penalty, clearly not on purpose the way he followed up at the end of there. So again, just a mistake made by him. So even after that, we're still 1.4 seconds out of P3 and 5.5 seconds away from the leader. So all is not lost as we are only on lap 3 of 28. Already 2 incidents in the race that I've had to deal with, pushing me back all the way to P6. Well, technically P7 for just a moment, but P6, and then a second incident which actually might have helped me out just a hair as I got back up to P4. So here on lap 3, settling into the race a little bit. It looks like everyone's kind of gapping out nicely, so hopefully we can get something done. Now, if we look there, I'm only 4.7 seconds off the leader here on lap number 6. Only 9/10 off Party Next Door, who's in P3, so I'm feeling really good about that as we're heading down the long straight here at Dragon Trail Seaside. I'm feeling like if I can get in that slip and just slowly pull up on him, I can maybe force a Gretty pass somewhere in here, or just make a good old-fashioned regular racing pass. But to do that, first you got to put on the pressure. So coming down through the S's, I'm trying to size him up, seeing where he's faster than me, seeing where I'm faster than him, and it's looking like so far he is really struggling with these S corners that you see right here in the cinema mode. Look how beautiful that terrain is here at Dragon Trail Seaside, coming over the crest of that hill there, then coming down into these S's, which forces the car out wide. You have to be on point on your apexes. Can't be too early, can't be too late, or you're gonna be too slow. So now heading down towards the right-hander before the chicane of death. Get on the brakes, get right onto Party Next Door's rear bumper, and I want him to drag me forward while I'm putting the pressure on the old Party Next Door. I found myself behind Party Next Door quite a bit in these last few races, so our pace very similar. Now as we head through the death chicane, he hits the wall, hits the other wall, and, well, I got caught again. Got caught by the driver in front of me, hitting the wall in the death chicane. Luckily, no damage, but right back down to P6. Tell you what, I cannot seemingly catch a break. I did catch the one break. I caught the break where the missile came in from my mullet and kind of helped me out, getting me back up to P4, even though he did hit me and drive me wide. But I tell you what, catching these people in the death chicane, just murdering me here. Now, I've got a good run on Lisa Salters heading down to turn 1, so I was like, I'll stick it over here, see if I can't force a pass, get on the brakes right at the exact moment where I can make the apex. Lisa brakes early, and I'm able to get on by now. Lisa Salters with a nice run coming down through corner one, but fortunately able to hold Lisa Salters off there as he is not able to carry enough momentum to get on by me. It looked like he might have peeked down the inside there on the right-hander, but did not go for it. So I'm back here once again in familiar territory behind Party Next Door. I got to tell you what, someday I'm just gonna have to have a beer at Party Next Door. Invite him over. Say, hey, let's have a brew. I seem to race the little Party Next Door quite a bit. Well, here we are. Well, like I said, back in familiar territory, putting on the pressures. We're heading towards the death chicane. I look down the inside. Party Next Door breaks early, gives me the apex. I'm like, well, I'll take it. I'll take that pass, and I'll put it down the inside. Now it's a game of chicken heading towards the death chicane. Who's going to blink? Who's going to pull back? It's Party Next Door. He eases off the throttle just enough to let me slide on by. And then he, unfortunately for him, hits the wall on the exit. There it is. Tap of the brakes lets me slip on by, peeking down the inside. Wasn't sure if he was going to go for it there. Taps the brakes again, but gets too loose on the curbing there. Hits it at the wrong angle. And then I'm able to pull a gap there on him. Now, as you can see, I'm 7.6 seconds behind the leader. These incidents causing me issues from the lead group. So P1, P2 scampering off into the distance, putting 7 seconds on us over 8 laps. Well, I'm thinking, where would I be if it had not been for these incidents? I could be right there on their back bumper. So now on to lap number 9. Spartan Ferreria. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to butcher that name. So I'm just going to say Spartan Driver. I just can't roll that R. You know, I just can't do the Ferreria. I just can't do it. I want to do it, but I just don't have the linguistic dexterity. I don't have it. I wish I did. I really do. Anyway, down into third gear here. Onto turn 1 in the chicane. Pulling right up here on Spartan Driver's rear bumper. Oh, I would love to get this pass, take this podium spot away from Spartan. It'd be lovely to land on the podium here in my first official GT7 Nations race in 2023. That would be a sweet way, even though I'm like, even if I run this race and the next, I'll be one race short to get all the points, but I just wanted to run this race. So into the S's, you see the Spartan driver goes wide there, so he's got a bad angle heading into this next set of S's, so I know I've got a really good run on him. So my timing is pretty much spot on as I come through the S's. Got a little bit of dirty air I'm dealing with there, and I'm going to go to the outside, make him feel safe, then I shoot back down the inside, break in time to make the apex, but I go a little bit wide. He makes the beautiful cutback there. Spartan Driver. Wow, nice, clean driving, beautiful racing there into that corner before the death chicane. I don't know, we've got to come up with a name for that corner. The downhill right, I guess you could call it. But he loses a lot of time coming out of the death chicane by rubbing the wall, so I've got a nice run on him heading towards the last corner on lap number 10. Get on the brakes, but this time I'm not going to let him have the cutback. I'm going to park it here on the apex and give him old Gretty's rear bumper. Get the move done into P3, standing atop the podium potentially with 18 laps to go. This a very, very long 1 hour race around here. Now Spartan Driver gets a great run on me down the straight heading towards turn 1. Who is going to break first? It is the Spartan Driver. I'm able to go around him, get it into the chicane, again, park it on the apex. He's got nowhere to go but Gretty's back bumper, and he does choose that back bumper, which gives me a nice little boost and a little bit of gap to him there. We're up to 3/10 as we head into the Lesmos and then into the right-hander up the hill. So now I've got a nice 4/10 gap as we're heading towards the S's, where he does tend to struggle. So if I can drop it into 4th, get it narrow here, don't turn in too late, and then get back on that power coming up the hill, I'm going to be able to extend that lead. There you see it, up to 5/10, pushing towards 6/10. Beautiful gap as we head to the downhill right. As we head towards that downhill right, I get on the brakes, but I see something out of the corner of my eyes. It's a Marlboro car. Takes me out, pushes me wide. It's Lisa Salters missing their brake markers. They were trying to come alongside the Spartan driver. Now we got another game of Chicane heading towards the Chicane. Who's going to pull out? Not Grady, as I hit the curb, go wide, and smash Spartan into the wall. Honestly, I felt pretty bad about that. I was a little upset that I got hit by Lisa Salters there. Again, a driver missing their braking point, not trying to take me out, but I lose 3 positions back down to P6. You know, and at this point in the race, I'm thinking to myself, why do I bother? You know, I'm going the pits here, coming out P12. I was in P6. You know, I had P3 pretty much wrapped up. Still pretty sorry for myself. Had my head hanging a little low. And then I come out of the pits and I'm like, no, that's not what we're about. Grady's not about quitting. 6 years ago when I started Gran Turismo, I started at the back of the pack with my group of friends, finishing last. I didn't like finishing last, so I got better. And the better I got, the better I'd finish. I went from finishing last, second to last, third to last, the middle of the pack, and it might have taken me 2 years. But by the end of 2 years, I was finishing on the podium. And by the end of that, well, I was finishing up near the top. And then I wasn't satisfied with being an A driver. I wanted to be A+. And I wanted to get the Platinum Trophy in Gran Turismo 7 with 91 wins. So I put my head down and I got the wins and I got myself better so that I could accomplish the goals to feel the sweet, savory success of victory. And so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to send it. I'm going to finish this race on the podium. It's go time. They say tough times make strong men. Well, I got to tell you what, it's been a tough race so far, but I'm feeling pretty strong. We're playing Chicane again, heading towards the Chicane, and I'm pulling myself up by the bootstraps, and I'm sending it. Quackabilly Blip drops out, lifts, lets me on through. Now it's time to look to P5. I'm caught this Spartan driver once before. We're going to catch him again, and we're going to take that P5 back. And after that, will we be satisfied? Hell no. We're going to take P4. And will we be satisfied with that? No, indeed. We're going to go for P3 because I'm going to land on that podium because that's what I want to do, and I've decided that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do it. Now, as we head into the right-hander, the P4 driver gets loose on the curb, loses the rear end of the car. Spartan down the inside, but now I've got a nice run on Spartan, heading downhill towards the S's. I'm going to go down the inside of the Spartan driver, get on the brakes just in time. He backs out of it, but now he's got a good run up the hill and then down the other side. I give him the outside. I'm not going to let him have the cutback like he so beautifully did earlier in the race. I cut it off, roll back in the throttle nicely, head towards the Chicane. No mistakes, can make no mistakes here if I want to catch P3 and get back on that podium. My goal is just up the road, 9 seconds away, 16 seconds to the leader. Lost so much time in those incidents, but fear not. We've got 12 laps remaining. Anything can happen at Dragon Trail Seaside. I'm bound and determined to get back up near the tippity top, folks. Right now, I'm more than halfway there. So as we come around on lap number 17, turns out Pro 030H hadn't hit it yet. That's why he dropped 3 seconds on me on that lap before. Now, heading on to lap 19, the leader loses it on the S's, takes too much curb there, slams into the wall, and yours truly, Go Grady, with the Grady pass, back to the podium and back to P2 in the race. A race filled with diversity that had to be overcome. And I didn't quit because quitters never win, and because of that, I bring home a P2. Heck yeah, super happy with that result. Enjoyed the heck out of that race. Enjoyed overcoming the diversity and landing near the top of the podium. 290 points. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed all the action. If you did, man, drop the big smash on that like button. Hit the subscribe. Come back, check out some more. For myself, Go Grady. Y'all have a great evening.